Hello everybody, Pretzel Road here, and welcome back to another time-lapse analysis video. Right now you're not seeing the time-lapse, you're just seeing footage from the middle of it. But today we're doing another time-lapse analysis in perfection mode with 3 opponents on crazy difficulty. So let's get right to it. Perfect timing. So, I start just by developing my city by collecting fruit, and I immediately invest in a workshop. And then I invest in the climbing tech because I'm hoping to go down to smithery fairly quickly. I'm hoping that the fact that it'll take me a little bit longer to get there compared to shields will be outweighed by the fact that they have a much better attack and the same kind of defense. So I discover the Oumaji are very near to where I am fairly quickly. Fortunately, though, by that point I have the smithery tech already, and so I can fairly quickly swap out the warrior in there right now for a swordsman when I need to. I build a city wall in my capital because defense is always a very important thing to have. That way I don't lose the city, and of course losing the city means that I lose everything associated with it. I checked the rankings there. So what I'm doing now is I'm exploring up in the upper left-hand corner, and down in the bottom, I'm just sort of trying to keep from attacking the Oumaji. And the reason I don't want to attack them at the moment is because at the moment, if you take a look at the standings page, I guess you can't really, but when I was checking the standings page, they weren't actually angry at me. So at the beginning of the game, in particular, I was trying to avoid them getting too aggressive and really trying to attack my city too much by not going out and actively attacking them very much, even when they were invading my lands. So I was eventually I did begin to start fighting them off because I figured, at that point I had enough strength to do that. They had a weakly defended city up in the upper right-hand corner of the map, so I decided to begin taking care of annexing that city into my empire, and that ended up being actually a fairly useful one in my development. Just because it was fairly resource-rich. It had a mountain that I could build a mountain temple on. You'll see that all later. I do some farming now, and the population growth is to help get me points, because I don't need extra size at the moment. I just need extra points. So I built a mine over in the corner, finally. I don't know why it took me so long to do that, but we did well in this game, so I guess I did something right there. Even if it took me a while to build that. Now, at this point, the next turn button didn't turn blue, and I was trying to find out where the unit that I was supposed to be moving was, and eventually I found it. I sort of had neglected it up in that corner for a while. So right now, just sort of moving the troops downward and developing the city of Dumas down there. I built a park because this time I was smart and started building parks instead of training up super units, which was a good move for me. So at this point, it was becoming fairly clear that the Oumaji had really no chance at winning. I actually discovered that they only had one city other than the one that you can see right. You can't see it right now, but it's visible at the moment down in that corner over there. There's only one city behind that, so they're really not too much of a worry for me. I was initially hesitant to go back into the corner where I just went to invade a village, because it looked like, you can see the Shinshi trees over there, so I was worried that there may be some Shinshi development in that corner of the map, and of course I was trying to avoid getting embroiled in too many wars, so I was pleased to find out that they weren't really of any concern to me at all. Neither the Bardur nor the Shinshi really were even visible in the map in the time that I was playing. So at this point, I sort of was looking through the tech tree before I realized I could build the mountain temple, of course. The mountain temple was something I wanted to do because I know that temples are able to develop over time, and so they're really good for perfection mode because they'll continue to produce points as they level up, which is awesome. So I built the Gate of Power because, again, that's points, free points, so why not? And at this point, it's really just sort of a sort of me trying to invade the southern portion of the map, and I struggled to do that a little bit. I think just because they had such a high quantity, they didn't really have high quality soldiers. It was just archers, but they had such a high quantity, and of course they've got good range. So even though they don't necessarily have the best defense, they were able to hold me off for a few turns before I managed to make it down. In fact, I think I really only invaded the last city of theirs in one of the last couple of turns. So I just investigated the tech tree over there and then realized that I should probably begin investing in development through some of the techs that I already have. That just helps to save a little bit of money there. Of course, the sweet, sweet stars that we need to continue our development, and also to hold off the Oumaji because they were taking a really long time to invade. I began building some ports, and that helped me to get some easy points. I considered getting customs houses later on in the game, but I decided against it because I figured there was no point in it for the map that I have right here. So now I'm just sort of looking around for a good place to put a port. I think I was looking for a city that would level up with that port. I researched riding so that I could eventually go up to roads, because when I placed down that port, a couple of my cities connected, and I realized that, like, oh yeah, roads are a thing that I should probably have. So that was a thing that I began to invest in at that point in the game. Unfortunately, I didn't think to extend the roads down all the way up to the border so that I could have an easier time attacking the Oumaji. That probably would have been a good idea, but oh well. The Shinshi basically remained in first place until the end of I think it was actually the Bardur, that remained in first place. It was one of the ones that I didn't see, but they remained way up at the top until the end of the game. And it was like the last turn that I was finally able to overtake them. The Oumaji were never really a huge threat in the rankings. They hadn't been for a while by this point. And as you can see right now, we're basically coming to a close with that fight. At this point, I found a place to build another temple where I definitely wouldn't be building anything else for a last-ditch attempt to gain points, which eventually became the way I won. You can see that down there I defeated the occupying catapult in their city, which was the end of them. Basically, they have one more boat over there that's of no real danger to me at all. I can finally take over that city, and I build the Grand Bazaar there. I don't know why I didn't connect the last city up with the roads. That probably would have been a good idea, but again, oh well, stupid mistakes. These are all sort of things that you only think about in the last minute after it already happened. I guess hindsight is 20/20. I built some lumber huts, and that was my last-ditch effort to get first place, which I did. So, yay! I only got 2 stars, which is kind of too bad. But we won the game. That's the important part, I think, and we had fun. So, now for our post-game analysis. I think I did really well this time. And this is a game mode that I tend to struggle a fair bit in. I think it's just by the nature of I tend to be more the conqueror type over the development type. I think that's just a different playstyle that I have. I think it varies from person to person, so I'm fairly proud of myself for this game. Um, some things that I could have done differently is I definitely could have invested in some tech earlier. I think that I was a little bit hesitant to do stuff. But like the swordsman was a good example of something I did really well, actually, and that was actually me sort of succeeding in that struggle that I was pointing out with being a little bit slow to actually build stuff or even go out to certain techs. Um, and that was that normally I would go for like a uh, shield, right? I would go for just the easy one. I would go for whatever I could take quickly. So with this game, what I really ended up doing was I just went quickly out to the swordsman, and that allowed me to really kind of invade more. I was definitely able to sort of lean into my stronger area, which was that I am good at invading cities. Um, so I think all in all, it was a good game. I also made some good moves for development instead of conquering. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, share it with other people who you think might be interested, and subscribe to the channel with notifications on, of course, so that you receive more videos like this daily. This and City Skylines videos, all of that. And I guess share it with other people who you think might be interested. And until next time, have a nice day. Goodbye.